Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me? How the hell does this work? Hello? Voice setting. Let's see. No. How do I do this then? Where's my volume? Hello? 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 Oh, let's see. How do I do this? STP1 awesome. Uh, how do I volume? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me? Okay, how did it work? Fifteen, 12. How do I share the link? How do I share the link? helps. Can you hear me all right? Yeah. Or try to type on the speak loud. But okay, so I wasn't speaking. I'm just gonna explain why I went for this setup. I'll close two of my setup now. Well, I'm gonna close one more actually. Yeah. So leave the rest on break even, and then let me just move to break even first, and explain why I took this setup. All right. So basically, all day we're downtrend, right? Can you hear me all right? Just type Y if you can hear me loud and clear. Today, just a little tester. I'm going to probably be going live quite a bit on YouTube. So yeah, because today, obviously, Friday open, we had a big drop open of the week here. Open price had a big drop. Asia had a bit of pullback onto this roadblock that I marked. Reason being why is that a roadblock? Because you got H4, or this is H4. So you had a daily break to upside, H4 break to downside. So for me, that's my roadblock. You got daily here. This candle's not closed yet, so we don't count this candle. So daily break to upside here, breakout. H4, then a bearish breakout here, and then the reject VR, which also come down. I had this hidden base mark, give a little pullback there. And then on Friday, I think Friday end here, and I was saying in my weekly review that I'm looking for bear because I have H1 was bearish after hitting this roadblock. So we tapped this roadblock. H4, H1 did a bearish breakout, and we close here on Friday evening. So on my last video I made, I'll say I'm bearish unless you break this kind of the resistance level on H1 or H4. So Asia come big drop. I think that was due to US and China with the agreement on the lower tariff. So now London come hit this other roadblock that I marked up. You understand why that's a roadblock, right? H4 engulfing, H4 support level, and because we had a H4 pullback. And then tapping that, I had a little scalp this morning here. I'm only scalping reason being because the sell momentum is very strong. Come down again, hit to this the lowest point of this breakout, this daily breakout. So if you see on the daily's breakout, this is the daily breakout. You got where's that? So this was the original move of the daily breakout from here to here to the highest, and now we're at the lowest point. So that for me, I consider that as a good level if we want to turn around, but I doubt we will do any movement today. Reason being, reason being London and Asia have done a big, massive move. Coming back to my setup, why I took this sell setup, I said we had a strong sell momentum anyway, and then when price give this H1 breakout to the downside, and there's also an EG breakout, as you can see, engulfing breakout. So I know in there can be a strong reaction the way I mark my zone. I check on M30. I saw this hidden base. Yeah, let me change that color. That hidden base there. Price tapped into that, give me a M1 break to the downside. M1 give me a downside. I didn't take that one. Gave me another pullback here. I took this one here. I took a bit early. Fell back quite a bit, but didn't hit my stop loss. I said that if it's gonna break this level, that's where price gonna. Basically I'm wrong in my setup. So enter about 4 setup there, and then come down. This will be my first TP. Reason being because of my high low kind of mark. So that was my first TP, which I closed free setup. I'm on break even now and left, and my TP for this one is 210, which I wanted a bit lower than this, but I thought this is the actual breakout at M5, so I'm gonna probably move my breakout my TP to here, which we're not far from it. Let me move it, and that's my sell setup. Did that explain it? Anyone got any question about the setup? All right, I'm gonna close this trade now manually because I got my TP at 3210, which let me see. Should I close it? M15. Yeah, I want to close it. Reason being, it probably would drop further, but I'm happy with it. I think it's just over 2 to 1. Yeah, 2.5 to 1 here. So the all trade out. I'm out this trade now. You're welcome, mate. Anyone got any question about BPE while waiting for another setup? Just type it down a message. By the way, forgive me if things are not quite clear or whatnot, or I don't know how you look on your side. Only being because I'm new to this. It's my first time doing live trading, so on YouTube. So, what am I expecting? Let's see what I'm expecting. Can you explain how you use the indicator below? Okay. This RSI are mainly for my high risk setup. High risk is basically 2 time frame lower than the breakout. So the concept I use is BPE, breakout, pullback, and then entry. Wow, entry is after the confirmation, right? So a breakout got to happen after a candle break below or above the resistance and below a support. That makes sense. So you got apex and VPEC there. So high risk is low risk is 1 time frame lower, which being if this was a H4, this is H1, this confirmation is H1. If it's high risk is H4, H1, M30. So I use this RSI when it's high risk. Example, let me give you an example. Let's see if I can find an example somewhere. Normally I trade on the entry on M15, M1 time frame. So to give an example here. So okay, let's find out we got an example. So M15 break to the downside. I'm not sure this is break to the downside. So we got a breakout, right? This is support, candle close below it, break to the downside. So that's that. M15 down to the downside. M5 break to the upside here. M5 break to the upside here. Right. So that's a pullback to M15. Price come into the origin of the breakout. Did I mark the breakout? Let's mark the breakout. The breakout was here, but this candle itself. So when price come there, M5 tap into the breakout. Well, to be honest, I didn't look at this time frame. For this setup, I look at a higher time frame. This is just an example. So now when M5 tap into the breakout of the M15, the RSI was near 80. So when that happened, if M1 gave me a setup, I take it, and that's high risk. Right, high risk because it's M15, M5, M1. I wouldn't. Well, look at the pullback. Glad I take out almost trade. Normally I wait for M5 for low risk, but because M1 break to the downside, RSI was about near 80 on M5 time frame. The RSI has to be on pullback time frame. You know, not the breakout, the C confirmation time frame, the pullback. So we had M15 break downside, M5 pullback, and then when price come up here, the RSI was near 80. You see, when it tapped this level. Then I wait for the M1 breakout. M1 breakout, which is here, and I wait for a pullback for my confirmation kind of thing to give me a better price. Then I sold from there. So really, the RSI is mainly for high risk setup. Wait for a pullback time frame, and if you're selling, you want RSI to be above or near 80, and you're buying, you want it to be below 20, and that's all I use for. I use other factors like a pullback, how much to pull back below 50 and things like that. But mainly it's for high risk setup. I hope that explained it, brother. Okay, what else? Let's see. So now price has tapped into the M5 breakout and then give it a pullback. I'm not expecting much movement in New York now. I mean, I could be wrong because obviously the type's going on. I just think that what's happening in Asia and London, it has done over 1,000 pips, I would say. So it start here, weekly open 25, come down to also 1,200 pips, just about around there. On average, we're getting about 700 pips per daily. Since all this war going on and Trump's been in power, things like that, which is a lot more than normal. Before that, we were getting on average of 300 to 400 pips daily range. But now we look at this like this year, 32. 40, well, that's a whole 100 pips. That look like over 100 pips. That look like 35, 60, 70 pips. That look more than 100 pips. You know, so it has been given a lot of pips since Trump's in power, as in like he become the president and this war with Ukraine, and then we obviously got India and Pakistan lately, and also Palestine and the tariff war. So we got a lot of fundamental going on around the world, which can obviously make gold very bullish in that sense because of gold is what they call safe haven kind of instrument. Anything happen around the world, they like to they're not going to be spending money on currency or equity. It's more about gold commodity. So yeah, so I'm not expecting much around New York or session, but we'll see. I mean, like they had agreement over the weekend of the tariff, so we'll see. So now let's see. We might we done this setup we already done. So obviously that was M5 and M1 setup. So now we see they can actually give me an M15 setup now, which they have not yet. So we only got M5 pullback, M5 confirmation. So if you wanted to be a low risk, you could enter here after this candle close. That's a lot because that's what's that? That's M15 breakout, M5 to the upside, M5 to downside, and maybe target next level would be this one, which yes, this is a support that would always be your target. For if you take an M5 setup, it should be M5 level, M15 level, and really I don't really use gap level much. I mainly use AMV support level and resistance level for stuff like that, for TP or for breakout. Yeah, what else? Some zone marking, a little bit some bob like that. But yeah, that could have been a low risk setup, but I've just took it on M1 breakout. I just went for high risk setup. But my main narrative for that was H1 EG breakout, M30 hidden base. And if you look at it, it went in there quite clearly, quite well. Just that hidden base there, that week to week, went in there quite well and gave me. Shall I 50 give me? I closed out the M5 breakout, which is this level here, which is just looked like a nice exit really for me. I did had it for 210 down here, but after just looking at the prices, this was a nice entry which I closed just in time before it gave a pullback. So now I'm just waiting. Traders are what waiting, right? So let me see. Storyline. So I was reading Telegram. Are you asking me about the storyline? Hey guys, do you expect the price to drop from 270 to 279? 279. We got past 279. Unless we meant 2017. Let's see. Wow. Who was that? Who's that? Who's asking for 279? 279 around here. Are you saying price going to come around here? Okay. Oh, let's see the weekly. That's very. I wouldn't think about 279. This. If I'm right, are you mentioning about here? 279. It's around here. Is that what you're saying? I don't know if you talk to me or in the Telegram group. 279. For me, that's too far fetched. I mean, the weekly, we're bullish here. So daily, which daily still bullish yet. We haven't until this kind of close. Daily's bullish. So when this kind of close, which is tonight, obviously, if we have this bearish break, then I can think about marking my roadblock, which would be here, and this roadblock still valid, um, on a high time frame roadblock. Even though it's not fresh, I tend to use it twice. So let's see. But this was a roadblock for H4, and where you got H4 here, and then this down here. But at the moment, 279 is a bit far fetched for me. You got a lot of level to break before the price come there. And I don't think the price will come there. I just think, okay, yeah, China and America has agreed a deal, but I believe with what's going on in the world, I think gold will go a bit higher. Well, we'll wait to see what CMP shows anyway, right? And I only trade with my concept, and right now I know weekly time frame bullish, daily I'm bullish. You just hate four and bearish, and because I'm an intraday trader and mainly scalping, I follow the H1 and H4 time frame. So like I was been bearish since this year, this H1 break to the downside. After I've been bullied from here, why? Because you go on H4, price tap into that drop base drop, which is a roadblock, and then give a H1 break to downside. After this pull, but we'll bear from here. The main thing with BP is if you follow the high time frame narrative, you can't go wrong. And then if you just want to trade in that narrative, hello mate, nice to see you. Thanks for joining. Yeah, just follow the high time narrative and just look for low time setup. Example, like I didn't catch this trade, but just example. I told you on my last video that I was bearish from here, right? I was bearish all week, and the week opened there, and then you should check once H4 breakout to the downside, another one, because this is after this breakout, right? Because your narrative is already selling on H4. You were only buying on H1 on here with H1 breakout to upside, hit roadblock, H1 break to the downside. I'm bearish now, and now we're more bearish after this breakout. So now you mark this H4 done a continuous breakout. You mark that. You check the one time frame level. Any pullback? No. M30. Any pullback? Well, yes, days after this line, you got a pullback there. Yeah. And then you have a pullback there. You can go for M15 risk, but when you have a pullback, you got to check. Okay, this pullback, what time frame is it? M30, right? M30. So you check what's that to the H1. H1 still bear, right? So that's just a pullback to the H1, because the setup time frame is always, for me, always one time frame higher. So if the pullback is M30, my setup time frame is H1. So the M30 is a pullback to H1. Then I can go look for high risk setup, which is M15, which is two time frame lower than H1, and with the bonus RSI above 80 or near 80, and then I can look for sell break to a downside for me to confirm my confirmation as a as a high risk confirmation. But then if M30 breaks to the downside, also that's a low risk setup. So we had a low risk setup here. Oh no, but that's still low risk. That's just, for me, that's still a break because you look at it. Okay, maybe not. But then you look at that. If you really want to go for low risk, then you gotta wait for this candle close. Yeah, which is that move really gone. Do you know what I mean? So that's no good. But I believe M50. Well, I know M50 done a bearish break here, and then come back, and then done another bearish break. So you can go for two time frame cycle, for example. And obviously, it's not as simple as that because there's other factors to look at, like what kind of breakout is it? For example, EG breakout, EFEG, two breakout. There's a lot. How I mark my zone. I think I got a video in my channel about how I mark my zone. If you watch that, then you kind of understand how I mark my zone. So there's certain criteria to for me to see how strong the breakout is. You know. So and I tend to, well, not tend to, most of my setup are due down to the EG breakout. You know. So, or even two breakout. So what am I doing now? Okay, we got maybe a M50 bullish break here. Just gotta wait for that. M30 is not far. Because now M5 settings already happened, right? M5 breakout, M5 pullback. Next time M5 give me a setup, I probably won't take it. I'll look for a next breakout, which probably be M15. And my A plus setup is mainly continuous setup. Man, I don't know what to tell you that. Too much on the first day. Well, forget it. So this is my A plus setup, yeah. Phase 3, H1 break to upside, and then so you got H4 break to upside, pullback, H1 confirmation, and then obviously find low time frame setup. My A plus setup is only continuous trade from phase 1 or phase 3. What do you mean by phase 1 or phase 3? Phase 1 is this here, breakout. Phase 2 is a pullback. Phase 3 is a confirmation. So after this confirmation, this is what I call phase 3 setup. So I will look for, let's get rid of that. I will look for lower time frame setup after that H1 breakout, like H4 breakout, H1 pullback, H1 confirmation at the origin. This is the origin. Then our lower time frame setup will be M5, M5. So you got two time frames set up now. Two cycle completed, and I can look for buy there. This is my A plus, and then another A plus is my phase 1 setup, which is H4 break to upside. Then we got a new H1 break to the upside, and then I will look for low time frame setup. For example, let's do that again. So this is my phase 1 setup. H4 upside, new H1 break to upside, M5 pullback, or M5, M15, M1. Well, I tend not to do M1 as much, depend on the breakout of it. So say that M1. I don't tend not to M1. Sorry, not M5. I do M5 and M15 a lot. So then that's M5 confirmation, and then pullback, and then buy to there. So H4, which is still phase 1. Then we have a new H1 breakout. Basically, two time frame in line with each other. H4 and H1 both buy. Low time frame pullback. Low time frame confirmation go. Same as this. That's phase 1. This is phase 3. This actually had a pullback, but still H4 buy, H1 buy. Two time frame in line with each other, and then you can buy from there. I think today's live is probably mainly, we had one sell setup that we got already. That's TP, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, I don't think many setups will form now, but we'll see. So I think today's live session is going to be a quick one. Social secret, that A plus setup there is quite a good source. And then you listen to what I say about a certain breakout, example EG breakout. then you can't go wrong. You know, always look for easy breakout kind of thing. That's the ten thing. 10. That's the kind of breakout I look for mainly. Um, and I tend to try to follow the buys. I mean, this buy I took earlier was not, but it showed me a setup, so I just took it, and it was at my level. It was at my zone, and it pulled back a bit. It was at my roadblock. Yeah, you go. Price got there, gave me a little low time frame. There's a few other things that I look for that's not BP, you know, only because I had a lot of mentor in the last 5 years that I've been doing trading, and I took the best of what the skill, the useful thing that I took of each one. I put it in there, but BP is my core content, like the main thing I use. But I've looked at other things like FU candle, liquidity sweep, a lot of things like that. And through experience, I kind of thought this buy was going to happen through just reading price action. You know, so you got pullback, reject pullback, uh, retrade, buy, and my TP was just fresh level here. Just took that. So today, two nice buy, sell, and both TP was on point. And I think you guys just coming in time, right? Well, one or two of you coming in time to show me that I closed my trade here. Just right here. Okay, let's see. M15 break to the upside. Okay, which every time you have a breakout, first thing you want to do is what is that to one time frame higher. So that is the M15 break to the upside. Is an easy breakout. What's that to M30? M30 is the pullback because M30 is to the downside. We at the origin of the breakout. So let's see if M5 gives a confirmation for another sell that I look at. But I think today will be back and forth in this zone. Well, let's see probably here. Let's see the H1. And I don't think we got much news today either. I don't think we got any news today. Yeah, it is live. Have anyone ever done live on YouTube before? Because I'm trying to think how do I figure it after. But I don't know how to post it on my channel after. Let's see. Okay. Any question? I don't know. Any question about anything else? What other secret do you want to know? Let's see. You got the easy breakout. You got the A plus setup. Scalping. Scalping is the same really, just low time frame setup. Like you see how we're doing a H1 in line, have a H1 and M13 line, and then enter on the M15, M5. Who was my best mentor in this, I had some geniuses. Right now, well, I say right now, Barney has been a game changer for me because it's quite simple. I mean, once you understand the certain breakout, the certain thing that's valid, unvalid, it's simple. So that was a game changer for me because if you look at breakout kind of strategy or concept, that's all, isn't it? You know, what do you need for knowing how the breakout work? Breakout is a candle close above a support or resistance, you know. So that's the breakout. Then a pullback to send, just opposite direction, one time frame lower, but also it has to do a breakout, confirmation same, and then once you know that's high risk and low risk, then you kind of figure out what kind of breakout is it? How is it valid? So you know your direction. And the thing I like about pull breakout is one candle can change the direction. So where you kind of like follow the CMP kind of movement. So you're always in flying. Rocky is another mentor that I had. I mean, he's an indicator kind of trader, and I still use that. Let me pull it. See if I can pull it up here. I'll pull this up for you. So this is what I have on a separate chart. I got a food screen in my office, so yeah. Now let's get food. All right. Yeah, so indicator setup, which I still use. I still use to confirm my setup sometime. Yeah, I'm gonna get it up now and then I'll pull it over. Where's be frozen a moment. Yeah, he is he's really good at this. Like he's on next level. But I just couldn't got used to it. Got used to indicator. I mean, like it was just like I don't know. I think I took his mentor about 4 years ago, so I was still my first year into the trading journey. So obviously, when you start off, you like, you know, if I had him now, I definitely would have stick with it, and because what I know and I experience and everything. But he was proper waiting for confirmation, like a lot of patience, and in some sense, back then when I first started trading, and like you all probably can relate this, there's some impatient in you, and through experience, that patience has been built up, and where you get better. But Rocky was a good. I mean, I said he's good. I still use it, but he was just like in terms of like knowledge, wise, he like, I can't explain it. It's next level. So here's what. Can you see? Right there. Where's my phone? Can you see my IC market indicator? Can you see? So is all about indicator. Certain things, certain line you got to draw across. Certain lines got to give you confluence. Certain things. Can you guys see it? I don't know if you can see it. I just pulled it across. Type yes or no if you can see my IC market chart MT4. Yeah, 100% patient is everything without doubt. I mean, trading wise, we get paid right for being patient. Can't see. Okay, let me see. How do I? I think I just share instead of sharing screen, I'm sharing apps. Let me see. No. Okay, how does it work? Oh, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'll figure out and then I'll sort out next time. Yeah, definitely. Patient is well. This is what trading is about, right? Trading is about patient. When the market don't pay you because of your strategy, in my view, the market pay you for being patient. As in, like only to use your A plus setup because there's market move all the time, and you can give you crap setup, and if you're not patient enough to wait for a good setup and you take that, then the market will punish you. So this is why like I didn't have that to start with his mentorship. So I believe if I took him on like last year, then yeah. But yeah, two big shout out to Barney and Rocky. And Rocky's not really well known out there. He just keeps himself, but he is phenomenal. Like we would go live chatting. Yeah, this is my first year into trading, and he was like, okay, this is what's happened. He's gonna give a little momentum boost to upside now, and then like a few seconds later, just up. I'm like, how does he know that? And then he mark a level, and it's like, okay, that's gonna slow it down for a bit. And if you break this level, that's gonna continue breaking down. And everything he says during like live with me, it happened. But then the only thing was that was just patient for me to follow a certain mark, certain line, wait for a certain indicator to adjust. There's a lot of stuff to it. But yeah, he seriously. I don't know if you guy like indicator, but I would recommend Rocky 100%. But yeah, Barney, this is what I use now. Like I said, Barney's a game changer. So them two definitely the best mentor for me personally. Um, valid breakout. Okay, back to EG breakout. Uh, breakout. If there was a breakout but it didn't form an EG breakout, engulfing breakout, then I would not use it. You know, I would hesitate to use it. I would only use an EG breakout. Um, let's give an example. Trying to find an example. EG breakout. Okay, what about here? Like this breakout here. Yeah, this is not EG breakout. Even though price eventually does come lower, but before it does that, depending where you have your stop loss, it spike up. So like I would definitely any breakout I use, it has to be EG. Look at this there. Eventually this is EG breakout and price never really gone above that until yeah, so there's a bull breakout here. Um where else can I go? And also the breakout that happened, what kind of breakout is a solid breakout, like a one candle breakout here, like this here, or do you take 3-4 candle to break out? This is a breakout, it's not as strong as this how I see it. I mean, it just give. I did have a little buy scout buy here, but there's not much movement. Yeah, well, EFEG, like say if I had this EG breakout here, yeah, I can go one time frame lower, and if that give me EFEG, then that's valid as well. It doesn't have to be that time frame EFEG. I mean, like this breakout, this time don't have to be EF. But if M30 give me EFEG, then that's brilliant. I use one time frame low for EFEG. See this, you got M30 EFEG, you know, and then obviously like if it has 2-3 breakout, the solid look for a solid breakout and then one time frame lower EFEG, you know. Two time frame, yeah, but I prefer one time frame lower. This is coming down to like A plus setup, B setup, C setup, depending on the breakout. But if you just follow a solid breakout, A plus setup, you cannot go wrong. You know, you cannot go wrong. But that's all down to like, have you got the patience to just wait for that setup? You know, because it doesn't come every day. Like even me, like yeah, when it does come, I'll definitely get in. But then I have a little zone for scalp, so because like just through experience, I've gone to a lower time frame even more. I just find my scalp. But if you just follow, let's see, let's do it here. You got H4 break to the downside, yeah. Another H4 break to the downside, continues. Um, and then in here you're gonna have a H1 break to the downside, and then take continuous setup. Do you know what I mean? But what you want to do is whatever time frame VR your setup is, sorry, whatever time your VR is, look for that roadblock. Mark your roadblock as the VR pullback time frame. So there's okay. Let's do that then. That's a bit rubbish. So example, yeah, that H4 bullish breakout, yeah, on the way up. Actually, on the way, yeah. H1 doing a pullback. But on the way up, H1 was doing this. That's H1, right? So the yellow line is H4, the H1. So H1 is got bigger downside. So this is my roadblock. So when price get here, and also obviously I look at what kind of breakout is on the H1. That would be my two roadblock, and then the lowest point would be here. So I use the lowest point as well. And then obviously second movement, things like that. You gotta know about that. Well, 411 call it ISL, whatnot. So yeah, so when that give you a pullback, I can depend on the range, find the range. Is there a good range to sell to? And then I can look for it and then continues set up on the downside. Or if it comes to roadblock, when price comes to roadblock, I tend not to make any trade yet and just wait for what CMP show me, because out here it can give me an M30 break to the upside, and that's high risk setup. I roadblock. I would take that. Do you know what I mean? That's M30. And then I can take that. But you can look for stuff like, I don't know, low time frame setup. Ideally, what you want to do is look for every time there's a breakout, you want to look for opposite candle. So this is a red candle, close. After that close, then you check for what time frame pullback is it. Then whatever time frame pullback is, you mark your block and you look for that setup. Does that make sense? Yeah, definitely. I definitely like through my journey. Like nowadays, I take 1 or 2 setup, and that's even scalping. And even scalping, I get 2 to 1 or 1 to 1, depend. Easily. And yeah, definitely. I mean, I just sit here and read price action and go through old video and just learn why the market's doing. I mean, I don't just wait here and look for setup. Forget the setup come and it come. It doesn't matter. But I had my 2 setup today, both TP. I'm happy. That's all. That's all it is. I mean, I missed a big move. Don't get it wrong. I only got like this buy here and this sell here, but even that, because I'm doing low time frame, my stop loss lower, my R2R 2 to 1 is lower, so it's all right. Yeah, definitely quality setup, and and that is the problem with most of the trader, isn't it? You're just not really to have the patience to hold it, to hold for the setup, to hold for A plus setup, and just tend to go for any setup. Like I could be seeing, like I do live trading with my a couple of people that I teach, well, a couple of 4 of them, and yeah, and even though I mark out, I probably did what it's meant to do. Like example, like if I see a low time frame breakout, things like that, and I mark it out, and I say it's going to do this. Probably I did do that, but I didn't go in because it's not my A plus setup. You know what I mean? Because after through back testing, I know my win rate is probably like, I don't know, 50%, whatever, which is not good enough. Where my A plus setup is like between 60 to 70. I want to have that edge, you know. So we could sit here and just talk about where price want to go, why you want to go, and what does it do. But I wouldn't take it unless it's an A plus setup. And can many trader do that? Can many traders like, oh yeah, I've seen that move there, and it's a setup, but it's not a great setup. But yeah, I'm gonna go in anyway. So yeah, right now there's no kind of setup. Price still rejecting off this hidden base. You can see an M30 hidden base, but no real setup. Alright guys, it's a nice first live trading. Hope you got some good out of it, and I definitely have. I definitely know how to do it now. So next time I'll be a bit more professional. Thanks for joining. I'm gonna call it a day for now. I don't think, be honest, I don't think market's gonna do much. maybe when 220 come, the commodity exchange might open, there might be something. And then 230, the equity open, that might do something as well. So that's another hour away anyway. So I don't think markets will do much now anyway. And that's another thing. Like another thing I look at. One last thing. Another thing I look at is this. Uh, is the time of movement. I'll tell you what I mean. Okay. Example, yeah. This level here. I marked this level. I had this EG breakout, yeah, on H1, yeah. Also, look at the time that it started to move. 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock is Asia, Shanghai, Tokyo, the open. So for me, this move are commercial. Pardon me, commercial. You know the difference between commercial and big banker. Commercial banker are the market maker. Commercial are even the bigger boys. They move the market. So the banker want to follow the commercial move. You know, commercial are like big investor, like have client that's you know um, billions and billions of dollar. Commercial like Coca Cola, big company like that. They are commercial. So this one open at 1 o'clock. This one you look at the time is Asia time. So I know this movement are the big boys from in Asia. I mean New York could trade it that too, but this is the Asia Open. So I know there what this breakout happened because of that. So that you look at the time in it. So I know when price get there, if the Asia boy want to hold that price, they're gonna fight it, right? So even if the momentum is strong, there still be some kind of reaction, which it did have. So always keep an eye on out, like every move, and it did move, did any breakout, did anything powerful. A lot of the moves you tend to find are well, lately it's been in Asia, but a lot of the move happened in New York, London, Asia. So just check out for the big move, like this move here, this move here, all the moves that create the move. What time did it start at? You know, I did look at 1 o'clock. You can't find nothing at 4. Look, 1 o'clock. Start this move. Things like that. This is where you wanna look at stuff. Figure out the time that the move happened. All right, that's my last kind of bit of advice. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you soon. Take care.